Blasting live from the city of brotherly love. You're listening to Philly Funk Radio.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Let me turn the music down. And we are here live. Thank you for joining us for another Philly live show right here on Philly Funk Radio and Philly Funk Television. We have a whole bunch of special guests with us tonight. But of course, as always, we are joined by Mr. Van Stone and Miss Whitney. We're going to start off with Mr. Van Stone, and he's going to introduce the other guest that we have, Van.
All right, guys. So I don't know why Jerry's introducing me as Mr., but I'll take it today. Welcome, everybody, to the show. This is the Philly Live Show, and of course, I'm Van Stone. I am the face behind the voice. You guys are used to me on radio years, and you know how that go. When you're on radio, you can't see the actual person. So that's where I get the face behind the voice from. And we're here on a beautiful afternoon going into the evening in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I want to get kind of like straight to the point so we can bring in our special guest. Of course, my co-host is the one and only Jerry Wilson, holding down the boards. And also, of course, DJ Whitney is in the house, as always. Now, just saying that and keeping that in mind, we have two special guests that are coming on the show today. We are going to kind of narrow a focus on umpires and Little League Baseball. But not just, umpires in Little League Baseball, but I believe professional baseball as well. So this is the professional baseball season. We're in Philadelphia. Of course, we're rooting for the Phillies, but that doesn't mean that someone in Philly is not for the Phillies, always for the Phillies.
I'm not. I like the Pirates. I'm going for the Pirates.
Sorry, I'm a New York fan. New York Yankees. Stop it.
Okay. Sounds good. So what I'm going to do is I am going to give the introduction to my man Hector and also Randy. And these are two, I consider them professionals. When you work with youth, they may work with adults as well. We're going to get into the whole topic, and then we'll let them tell us. The umpire organization here in Philadelphia is a serious thing. And that's why we're starting this show. Because when you talk about umpiring, it's not a joke. You're dealing with, all kind of levels of things. And you have to know what you're doing in order to call the game correctly. But also, I believe you should have some experience, in the field, being pretty good as a baseball player. And there's a difference between baseball and softball. So with that in mind, I'm going to start out with Hector, of course. And Hector, we're going to go to you because I want you to really give the audience and the viewers your full name. Don't give your full story because we did an actual news story on you. We're just waiting for that to come out. But just give us your full name, the name of the organization, and then tell us just a little bit of what you want us to know about the organization. Then we'll piggyback back and forth between you and Randy because you guys really are going to really give us the information that we need to know that we have to get into right now in the season. All right, so Hector, go.
All right, so my name is Hector Lozada. I've been playing baseball pretty much my whole life. I've been in the game, coaching and playing in the last, 10, 11 seasons as an umpire. I umpire for the Northeast Athletic Association based out of Northeast Philly. And I normally do the age groups of 7/8 and 9/10. Randy Roque is my partner here. We've been doing this together since I've been around. He was the one that actually got me started in the umpiring. By him messing up a whole bunch of my games and making bad calls, I decided to take on the challenge to become an umpire.
Okay, that sounds really good. Of course, Randy, you can come back before we start talking. Randy, give us your full name and give us just your brief experience, and then you can rename the organization again because that's going to be very, very important to keep putting that out there so we know the difference in the umpire organization. We have a lot of them here. So go, Randy. Tell us who you are and what you have to say about that.
Okay. First off, hello everybody. My name is Randy. My last name is Roque. To make it easier for you, because a lot of people don't know how to pronounce it right, Lozada is Roque. It makes it easier. So
good.
With that being said, I started in the it used to be NEPL, Northeastern Peanut League. But then that it didn't fold, but the person that was running the Northeastern Peanut League decided to retire. So he retired, taking his name along with him. So that's why it became NEAA. And we started it all new, all fresh with, we same faces in different places. You know what I mean? So
right.
We're all about, my thing was helping out the kids. My kids were small at the time, and I met Hector, and his son was playing in his team at the time. I met a lot of good people. The league really helps out taking kids off the streets. But it has to be to the point where the parents have to be participant as well, not, just, take them, be a babysitter. No, umpiring takes a lot of stuff. It takes a lot of stuff. I'm sorry, I didn't mean, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's what we want. We're gonna just merge right into the main point because being an umpire, there's a lot of things that has to be said. Number one, and basically the umpires have been all over the news for the negative reason. I know, I'm an editor and publisher, so we follow the news, of course, and we print the news and make the news. And one of the things we come to find is that in Little League Baseball, many of the umpires have been disrespected grossly. And even to the point, some have been attacked. So I want to throw it back to Hector and tell us a little bit about what is the important thing, the difference with the organization that you're with as an umpire, and does it make it any easier, or do you get the same response regardless of whether you're umpiring, with one group or not?
Well, being that I am a seasoned umpire now, it's really, for me, I don't have any issues with my teams. Well, I shouldn't say any issues. We do have issues every now and then, but they're not as often as, every game. So I think that for me, and Randy can help me out here, once we get in there, they know that, you're getting 100% all energy based on, me being there. So you're not going to have anybody disrespect you as long as you set the tone early in the games.
Correct.
So, there has been some times where, a couple parents have been kicked out, a couple coaches have been kicked out. They get a little too wordy and, sometimes you just don't want to hear it because, at the end of the day, we're all human and, we have feelings too.
See, I'm piggybacking off of him. It's the fact that we go in there already with a set structure. Where me and Hector, we talk to each other all the time, and we say, "Hey, listen, we got to watch out for this, watch out for that." We always watching each other's back. Now, do we do that for all the umpires? Absolutely, but a lot of them doesn't do the younger guys like we do. I take real thing. I do a real thing when it comes to the kids, like. Your kid is 7 and 8. Let's just say real quick. 7 and 8. Your child is 7 and 8. They're in the learning period. Their foundation has to be built really strong for them to have a really great season and really going up to the next level. We see them me and Hector, we look at each other. We're like the principal and the vice principal of the little kids. When they come to the little kids, we take care of them from 7 and 8 all the way to 9 and 10. When they go to 11 and 12. We can only hope and pray that they still continue that success that they did with us. Some cases they're great. Some of them they don't make it, but that's because of how they're being treated on the field or by their coaches or anybody. and we don't tolerate those things. We take this really serious. We take it personally, to be honest with you. So
Right.
when your kid touch that field, then now they become my kids. Now they're my kids because you're not going to talk to them that way. I've never had anyone try to yell at their kids while I'm on that field because right away I'll shut them down, take them out, and we'll stop the game because your parent wanted to be, thinking that you're in the World Series and you're not.
Wow. You know what? At this point, I want to throw this over to Whitney because you said something, and I know Whitney, who deals with the youth and, deals with communication and deals with family. Sometimes it's the same sort of situation. I know that Whitney probably can relate to some of those things, and this would tie in to being an umpire. So do you have any thoughts on that, Whitney? Okay.
Hi,
Whitney might-
everybody.
So she,
There we go. Do you have any thoughts
I'm
on that,
sorry.
Whitney?
Well, I figure, like you said, the parents, oh my goodness, I can imagine how I see some of these TikToks and them parents be going off. And I'm like, yo, these kids are like 8 or 9, and you talking about that's not a strike, or this is, that's he hit him, or like, come on, he nipped him. No, he hit him.
yeah,
I'm just looking like,
yeah.
and the stories Hector tell me,
It's true.
like when I'm talking to Hector, he tells me stuff. I'm just like, he's in my mind. I'm like, these people really act like that. Like,
Yeah.
are you serious?
Yeah, they do.
It no matter what type of like job or employment or you're doing recreational things, you got to deal with all that. The kids not listening or giving you a hard time, then you got to deal with the parents. That's the ones, the parents, because then the parents are in the kids' ear, and sometimes that could be trauma because you don't know what they're saying to their kids. And they're young, like they take, the dad might be taking baseball a little bit more serious than the kid. And so the kid messed up, the dad's like, you messed up, you striked out, or you didn't get a home run. What's wrong with you?
That's because they're not helping them accelerate in their game. They're not helping. If you're going to be a teacher or if you're going to be a law enforcement, anybody, if you set the standard and have the straight law, everything down the middle, you should never have any kind of big problems like that. You shouldn't. Absolutely not.
And sometimes, the parents actually want to live vicariously through their kids. And
Correct.
instead of making it about learning and having fun, they make it about their $3 trophy.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So in using this platform, this is Philly Funk Radio, guys, and we have close to 200,000 listeners daily. Okay, this is live radio, just to let you know. All our listeners and viewers, they also read. This is a combination of a newspaper and a magazine. The information that we get here with this podcasters talk show, this is where we take advantage of the opportunity to kind of like share some things with our viewers, because we have, of course, we have parents who play baseball and we have their kids involved. And between you, Hector, and you, Randy, instead of, we're talking about that problem. Now, let's hear what kind of things can we start talking about for the parents to redirect them? What would we share with them? Hector or Randy, either one, it doesn't really matter.
I say patience. Have patience with your child. You know your child better than we do. But once they hit that baseball field, what happens is now we have to look at the whole lining of that child whenever they go up to bat or whenever they go to the field. So we're not just umpires just to call a game. We're actually helping the kid, with their swinging, with the way that they run. We're also coaches out there too. You may not see it that way, but we do coaching as well to them as being an umpire. And we're not biased to all the teams. We just want to make sure that little kid or that little girl has a fun time when she's on that field. That's how it's always supposed to be. You want your child to accelerate in everything they do. But in order for that to happen, I need help from the parents. I need help from the coaches. I need help from the community to back that child up, to support that child. And that's what it's all about.
Okay.
All right.
Hector?
Now, a lot of the things that I'm seeing is the lack of participation as far as the parents go.
Correct.
Randy had said before, we're not there to babysit, but for the 2 hours that we're there for, we do make sure that we take care of all of them. We make sure that they're standing in the right position. They're ready, and they get ready and set to hit the ball. They get ready and set to catch the ball, and hopefully they know where to throw the ball when it's that time. So we are extra coaches on the field, and we're just there for the kids. As far as something for the parents, patience, and they have to show effort themselves and try to get them involved as well. That part, I'll never figure out how to get someone involved, especially if they think that this is a 2-hour free babysitting.
Wow.
All right.
Okay, Jerry.
So I actually do have a question for both of you guys, but we're going to take a brief break and we will be right back.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up, and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
All right, and we are back right here on the Philly Live Show, and we are joined by, of course, Mr. Van Stone. We have Miss Whitney and our two special guests, Randy and Hector, who are Little League coaches. And I actually have a question for both of you guys, and maybe you can decide amongst yourselves.
Empires.
Huh?
They're empires.
Umpires. I'm sorry. You know what? I was too busy actually running the commercials, and I kind of forgot. But what actually made you guys get into the whole Little League and umpiring and stuff like that? What made you guys do it?
Well, for me, I was always a coach, and I started coaching my son when he was 3 years old. But organized baseball, started coaching him at 6, and then he kind of decided that he didn't want to do baseball anymore. He wanted to focus on his studies, and I really didn't want to keep on coaching because as the kids get older, it does become a babysitting job. And it was like, well, I don't have my kid in there, so I might as well try something else. And the opportunity came to me to become an umpire. Randy had always wanted me to do it, and I was like, well, I'm coaching, and so I finally decided to go to the dark side.
Yes.
Yes. So back in 2012, I decided, hey, you know what? Let me go ahead and become an umpire and see what the whole big fuzz about this is. And you know what? I might have gave Randy a little hell every now and then, a lot, but but now I understood what it was to be the umpire, because a lot of coaches sometimes give you a little bit of attitude, sometimes they don't, but it's a back and forth that you got to learn how to do the give and take.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Randy.
For me, I started this back in and me and Hector just talked about it. I'm sorry. I started this in 2008. I was like, wait, how long have I been here? I got so used to doing an umpire thing that the years and the months, they went all by me, because it wasn't about how much time I put into this. It's as long as I can put time into this and show the people, the community, that there are other people that cares, besides drug dealers and muggers and all that. There's people that actually do care about kids and want to do something really special. I mean, I had the privilege of having kids on baseball teams that had autism. And I made special time for them and did special things for them. And the parents and the community all understood and they all stood behind it. So when you got a community that can help you and do things, there's nothing that's impossible that can be done. Nothing. So it's a beautiful thing. And if you ask me again, I would have done the same thing back in 2008. I would have done the same exact thing. I wouldn't have traded for the world.
Well, that's good because you guys are actually holding everything down in the Northeast, and we are getting this right. We're in the Southwest. So we were trying to develop something here on this side in the Southwest, and we are going to depend on not only you two, Hector and Randy, the umpires that represent the organization. And say the name of the organization one more time.
Northeast.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, go ahead.
Northeast Athletic Association.
Okay, Northeast Athletic Association. Now that's interesting. We want to continue this and talk about this on the next show. And in our minds, we're trying to set you guys up with a platform so that you can actually continue this. Basically, where all the topic will mainly be about baseball, professional baseball, and so forth and so on. Also with the kids and the problems, and with our organization, Van Stone Productions Foundation, we deal with sports all the time, and of course, intellectual disability. That's one of the things that the autism comes up under, Randy. So just to let you know, we've been doing that for years, and we're trying to set something up where we can do an introduction, or I should say reintroduction of baseball in the Southwest so that we can get a combination of the Northeast and Southwest. That's the goal that me and Hector's talking about. But we're going to switch topics for a second. Let's go into what's really happened currently so that everybody else can bounce around and open up their minds and tie it into where we are. The hot topic right now, I'm gonna throw it to Whitney because Whitney always have a hot topic. What do you think is a hot topic, Ms. Whit, that we should talk about since we have all these guests and co-hosts and so forth and so on?
Well, I'm always about politics. But,
oh Lord.
Okay, so if you didn't have anything in mind, that's okay. Not to put you on the spot, but we'll get back to you then.
I was about to say,
okay.
They're saying on the news, and I was reading some other things that people still support Trump, he's still getting praised, like he's doing a good job, and I'm confused. Because I have not seen nothing positive yet.
Okay. So does anybody want to jump in? Hector, Randy?
I agree. I agree with Whitney. So I really haven't seen anything positive either. And I just don't understand how the cult following is so cultish.
Okay.
I really don't want to. I can't because every time we talk politics, you say one thing, then the other side say something else, and then they try to confuse you, and it's just a pain. And I'm not gonna. We could talk all day about what Donald's doing right now, or what could have been had Miss Harris got in. It's a lot of what if and what could have and what happened and where did we go wrong. It starts with the community. It starts with the people. That's where it went wrong. Mm-hmm. It starts with the people. It's not Donald's fault because it wasn't Donald that got himself in. It was the people.
Right. Yep.
So
and now the people.
All they're doing is looking at him because they wanted Donald to be at that seat. No one was ready to see Kamala Harris on that seat. No one was ready for that. We were lucky to get Obama in there. We were so lucky. But now, what happened after that? They said, we ain't doing this no more. And they kept it the way it was. Mr. Warden, okay. How are you?
All right. Jerry, you got any thoughts before I throw my thoughts in?
Well, not sure if you guys see, but we also have Warren. He's joining us as well. I actually wanted to ask Warren if he had any opinion.
Well, good afternoon or good evening. I agree with some of the other guests that this is a people's a problem or people's issues. They're the ones who put Mr. Trump back in office.
No.
But at the end of the day, we all have to employ these disciplines that start off and exactly situations like this. With you got Little League ball. These programs are designed to bring in character and to build character and good judgment amongst our youth. And like you said, the parents play a big role in this. But at the end of the day, these coaches want to develop and build up character and mainly good judgment and the best judgment they can with our young people to encourage them to be the best they can be.
All right. Well, I think it's funny you say that, Warren, about character, because the person that we have in the White House right now, I don't think he has any good character. And he's done nothing. He's isolating our allies, basically dismantling the government. And, I'm interested to see what this country is going to look like when the dust settles once this man finally gets out of office in 4 years, because this is all within the first 100 days. Like, we haven't even gotten past a year yet. Anyway, we have 3 minutes left, so I wanted to ask if anybody wanted to bring anything else up before we go.
I'm going to talk on the show about the umpires because we need more baseball and softball in the urbanized areas, like you said, Vanson, and especially down in the city. Because, I don't see none of that no more. I see more football than I see baseball when it comes to sports. So, that needs to be a good topic about how, football versus playing baseball and softball. Like, why are there more baseball teams and stuff in the Little League and in general? Because I don't see it. I don't even see it in high school like that either.
Yeah, well, one of the things, being real brief, thank you for bringing that up, Whitney, is that's why I wanted to really work closely with Hector, because it's based on culture. So if you're over there in the north, if you're in the Northeast, then that's probably the number one staple is hardball, baseball, softball. If you're in the Southwest, then the number one staple is basketball, and then, hey, there's groups of cultures who number one is soccer. So what we want to do is we want to reintroduce that in the Southwest, and that's why we have Hector. He's going to be our star leader. One more time, we're going to have this organization, this Northeast organization, to work with the youth, the children, the adults, and so forth and so on. But it's hard, and thank you for bringing that up.
All right, we're about to go. So since we got 6 people, I want everybody to give their final thought, 30 seconds or less, and we're going to start with our guest, Mr. Randy. What is your final thought? 30 seconds or less.
My final thought is I hope that this podcast really reach out to the people and let them know, like, we can use all the help that we can get. I mean, it could be anything. You can add on to anything. If you got kids that want to play baseball that lives in that area, bring them out. Show them out. We would love to bring new faces in different places. We love that. So that's my thought.
All right, Randy.
That was.
I mean, Hector. Sorry. Don't worry about me. I'm tired.
It happens all the time. Final thought. The more help we get, the better it is. We're even short on umpires. We thought we were going to have a couple of new ones this year, but that didn't work out. The NEAA is definitely looking for new umpires. Anybody over the age of 18 that has knowledge of baseball can definitely go ahead and reach out to me or Randy, and then we can get you in touch to become an umpire. There's real decent training, and season is about 2 weeks away.
Okay. Miss Wendy, you're up.
Well, I just wanted to say happy St. Patty's Day to everybody, even though none of us are Irish. But yeah, I mean, with the Empires and the baseball, I think that is definitely something to look into. You know, especially expansion wise, because more kids nowadays really do need to be active. It's not enough. This technology just really put a damper on a lot of sports. And we gotta change that, especially what's going on now in the world.
All right, Warren, you're up.
I think I'm encouraged. I may want to go into trying to help out and learn to work with these little leaguers. That's something that may be challenging for me. So that's something I may be interested in looking at.
All right. So I guess it's me and then it's Jerry. Listen, in 30 seconds, I want you guys to know that we appreciate everyone here. This is Philly Funk Radio. You can listen to the station at phillyfunkradio.com. We're 24/7. We are about to broadcast live from my mini studio here, 5037 Walnut Street. So on Monday, we will have music from 4 to like 7:30. And if you want to come to the station, you don't have to wait to a podcast. You can come on live and give us some selections. We're going to do all of this just for our listeners and viewers, and we have a lot more to come. So stick with us, guys. Of course, this is Westwood Advanced on Radio 2 as well. All right, Jerry.
All right. My last thought is just to thank everyone for joining us, especially our special guests, Mr. Randy and Hector. And Mr. Hector, thank you guys for joining us. And actually thank all of our guests, Whitney, Warren, Van, everybody. So we'll see you guys next time right here on the Philly Live Show. All right.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
You're listening to PhillyFunkRadio.com, the funkiest radio on the web.